Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill. These are some of the names that make up the great Yankees teams of the late 1990s. But another name, an unlikely hero from the record-breaking 1998 squad, was equally vital in those World Series years: Scott Brosius. Brosius was traded from Oakland to the Yankees after the 1997 season. His numbers had plummeted with the Athletics the year before, and he quietly wondered if any team would take a chance on him. Fortunately for the 31-year-old third baseman, the Yankees gave him a shot, and Brosius rewarded the organization with an all-star season in which he batted .300 and was named the 1998 World Series MVP. In all, Brosius manned the hot corner for 4 seasons in the Bronx, winning 3 straight titles with the club from 1998 through 2000. After a dramatic October in 2001, Brosius hung up the cleats and promptly moved back to Oregon, the place that has always felt most like home for the West Coast native. He quickly became involved in coaching, and now, 14 years later, he has built a stellar career leading the Linfield College Wildcats, the same school he excelled at as a student athlete almost 30 years ago. Yankees On Demand recently traveled to McMinnville, Oregon, and our cameras followed Brosius during a day in his life.
I want it to become so routine that you guys don't give it a second thought in the games, that nothing changes.
During his playing days, Scott Brosius knew he wanted to return home to Oregon upon his retirement from the game. After being here for a few hours, you quickly realize why. Whether at the airport terminal, the gas pump, or a restaurant, you encounter a multitude of friendly faces at every corner who are eager to strike up a conversation. It's no surprise that Brosius adopts this same laid-back approach from day to day. And from those who know him best, he hasn't changed a bit.
I'm telling you that he is the most unassuming superstar big leaguer that you're ever going to find. I mean, like I said, you would think he's working down at Jake's Deli, you know. I'm happy that a guy like that is doing what I'm doing, because we need more guys working with young men like Bro. So, you know, it's he has come down here and done our camps before, even when he was playing. You know, all you had to do was call him. And so, super guy.
Yeah, so this is the crew. This is the foursome right here, our Wednesday morning special. So you'll see us and basically nobody else on the course today. Anyway, you ready to tee off? All right. Nice. When it's this wet, 5 inches of rain over the weekend, carts aren't going on the course anyway, so we're better off walking. But it's just, I think it's more social and more relaxing just to get out here and take a nice long walk. Good swing. Yeah, so for me, 12th hole right here is home hole, so kind of a long par 3. We live off to the right side, and when we first bought this house on the course, playing with one of my good friends, and we were telling him at the time, and I said, you know, I don't think our house is going to get hit very easily. I said, it's going to take something pretty long and pretty wide to get there, so I think generally we're pretty safe. And so the hole was playing about 210 yards that day, and he hauls off and hits a 4-iron and loses it right, and just bang, 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 it just rattles. And I'm in tears laughing so hard, because the first time that we played the course after we bought the house, it gets drilled. This is the course cat, Bogey. There's the 4. Oh! Good job. Hey, partner! Yeah! There it is. Subway. We can breathe. We can breathe. This is the best part of the day, and it's never about the.
Text me later and show me what he's bought right there.
And it's never about the amount. It's just about actually getting into the wallet. This is Powerball right here. I'm going to parlay this into $480 million.
So I've known Scott for 30 years, since he was a freshman at Linfield. And like I said, it's kind of been my claim to fame that he played backup third base to me when we were at Linfield, and then to see him go on and do what he's done with his career was amazing.
He hasn't changed a bit. You know, it doesn't act any different than, you know, anybody else, and it doesn't, you know, just one of us. And it's just nice being around him. He's really been a good influence around here for this community and for the, you know, the kids at Linfield too.
He's just bro. You know, he's just an all-around great guy, and I think whether or not whatever we ended up doing, we'd still be together playing golf today. So just a great friend.
I think if you grow up in the Northwest, you just look around, you appreciate what you see. You know, this is kind of a unique place. It's a pretty special area. It's, you know, 45 minutes to, you know, 60 minutes to get to the ocean. Another hour and a half, you're up in the mountains skiing, and then lakes, rivers, you name it, it's green. And so for me, this was just where my family's always been, where my friends have always been, and so it's home, and always felt like home.
Linfield College is a small liberal arts school in northern Oregon, about an hour outside of Portland, and Brosius has called it home since 2001. He became the head baseball coach of the Division III school in 2007, and he's been nothing short of exceptional ever since. In 7 seasons, he's won 5 Coach of the Year awards and led the team to 3 College Baseball World Series appearances, winning the school's first national championship in 2013.
My first couple of years that I was home, I was helping out at the high school, helping out here at Linfield, and just over time was really drawn back to the college game. I just loved the kind of the focus and the intensity of a college player, and finally went to Scott Carnahan, you know, before the 2008 season and said, listen, this is what I want to do. Time for me to go get a job. Will you write a letter of recommendation? And he goes, well let's talk about Linfield a little bit. And I'm like, I'm not here to take your job. I'm just ready to go find a job. And he said, no, the timing would be perfect if you'd consider, you know, coaching here at Linfield.
He said, I would consider taking your job if you would stay on and coach with me. And so for me, personally, it was a great role reversal.
You know, as the AD, he was pretty busy, and so he stayed on as the pitching coach, and I took over as a head coach. So I felt really fortunate, a place that's been so near and dear to me all these years, to be able to come back and coach here.
We've had a great relationship for many, many years, and he does just a great job with our players, and well prepared, and obviously he's a full-time guy that gets part-time pay. Most of the facility improvements here, including the turf field and lights and stuff, were made possible by him being on a Yankees team.
Yeah, the guys are going to have fun with this today.
With the 2015 season just underway, we learned that Brosius expects nothing but perfection, but he'll always incorporate his lighthearted approach as well. He directs a 3-hour practice with excellent organization and efficiency. The squad has 4 practices a week with 2 games on the weekend.
15 minutes here between the 2 things. We'll be pretty short and sharp about it, so just kind of lock in. Pay special attention at first base, okay, to wasted motion, okay? If you're standing up a little bit, if you're drop stepping, anything like that, let's think about your first movement. Everything is directed towards second base, and really focus on those leads. You know, it's different. Obviously, as a coach, you're not competing, but you're still around the game and the competition of the game. So that part I love. Baseball's in my blood, and it'll always be a part of my life. But I do enjoy this age group. You know, they're coming from high school through college, and hopefully you're teaching life lessons, not just baseball.
He's a guy who holds himself to a higher standard morally and on the baseball field. I think that's been a huge part of how I've developed and grown up here at Linfield as a baseball player and as a person.
As a mentor, he's I think the best at this level. He's able to kind of get guys to the next level in terms of not only physically and skill-wise, but mentally as well.
I was about 6 years old kind of when he went through his glory days, I guess you could say, so I wasn't super informed, but I definitely, growing up a big baseball fan, was familiar with his name and the whole Yankee tradition, so I can't say I was a huge fan of him when I was, that young, but definitely coming here and the opportunity to play for him was a huge part of it.
After a brilliant run with the Yankees, it's clear that Brosius still loves the game, and it shows today in the way that he mentors young student athletes. Having reached the pinnacle at the major league level and at the college ranks, some might wonder what's up next for Scott Brosius.
For me, this has been an awesome balance of life here to be able to coach at Linfield as my kids were growing up and going through high school. We knew that we wanted to stay here. I could stay at home, sleep at home, watch them play, coach them along the way, things like that. But now that David, my youngest, is a senior this year and life changes a little bit, but right now I love what I'm doing here, and so I kind of take it day to day.